teams ahead of elections, assures Commonwealth Secretary-General in meeting with Chief Advisor. Hearing to frame charges against former Army officer Ridwan and 3 others on December the 4th in case of crimes against humanity for killing 26 people in Rampura during July mass uprising. Discussion between Election Commission and Postal Department regarding postal ballot voting system. Expatriates, government employees and voters under legal custody to be able to vote through postal ballot. Victims can file cases in e-family court free of charge. This reduces public hassles and corruption, says law advisor. Media must take strong stance against rumours and misinformation. At the same time, public distrust in media must be removed, says Information and Broadcasting Advisor. At least 6 people killed and 12 injured in a suicide bomb attack at paramilitary forces headquarters in Peshawar of Pakistan. And in China, Bangladesh beat Brunei Darussalam by 8 goals to 0 in AFC Under-17 football qualifying match. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to News at 10. I'm Mahmoud Rahman. Those were the headlines. We'll move on to details of those and other stories. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammed Yunus has urged experts to provide written recommendations within the shortest possible time on the government's required steps regarding earthquake preparedness. Please submit recommendations quickly in written form. The government is ready to take all necessary measures, he said. He said this while presiding over an emergency meeting on earthquake preparedness today. The meeting was held at the Chief Advisor's office in the wake of several earthquakes felt last Friday and Saturday. The country's top experts, researchers and university professors joined the meeting and gave their opinions on the issue. The Chief Advisor said work is underway to form the required expert committee and 1 or more task forces. Work will begin immediately after receiving expert recommendations, he added. The experts at the meeting emphasized taking necessary precautionary measures instead of panicking over the recent earthquakes. There is no reason to panic over the recent earthquakes. Instead, necessary precautionary measures must be taken, they said. Planning Advisor Wahiduddin Mahmood, Law Advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul, Disaster Management and Relief Advisor Farooq Azam, Power, Energy and Mineral Resources Advisor Muhammad Fawzul Kabir Khan, Housing and Public Works Advisor Adil Rahman Khan, Environment, Forest and Climate Change Advisor Syed Rizwan Hassan, and Chief Advisor Special Assistant Professor Ali Riaz attended the meeting. Professor Mohammed Yunus said, please inform the government what needs to be done in this situation. Tell us what preparations must be taken and in which areas awareness must be raised so that we can all take necessary prior measures no matter how the disaster comes, he added. The Chief Advisor said expert opinion is needed on what kinds of drills will be necessary for earthquake preparedness and emphasized that the current state of the country's preparedness must be evaluated. He advised coordinating with Bangladeshi scientists and earthquake experts living abroad, saying local institutions working on earthquakes must enhance coordination with foreign institutions. The Chief Advisor said develop an app named Shubhacha for expatriate Bangladeshis. Use this app to connect with Bangladeshi scientists and experts abroad. Please advise us on what additional features can be included in the app. Chief Advisor Professor Mohammed Yunus has sought the Commonwealth's full support for holding the upcoming general election scheduled for the first half of February. The chief advisor said this during a meeting with Commonwealth Secretary-General Shirley Ayakov-Bochwe at the State Guest House, Jamuna, today. The chief advisor thanked the Secretary-General for her strong interest in Bangladesh's forthcoming election process. He reaffirmed the interim government's commitment to holding a free, fair, credible and festive election. The Secretary-General assured the chief advisor of the Commonwealth's full support for Bangladesh's election and the post-election transition. She said there are vast resources within the Commonwealth, 56 countries, including members of the G7 and G20, that Bangladesh could draw on to strengthen one another. The Secretary-General added that she had held meetings with a wide range of stakeholders, including the Chief Justice, the Law Advisor, Foreign Affairs Advisor, and the Chief Election Commissioner, noting, "I'm very hopeful about the future of the country." She also confirmed that the Commonwealth is preparing to deploy several observer teams ahead of the elections. The two leaders also discussed youth empowerment, entrepreneurship, creating more social businesses, and advancing the 3-0 vision aimed at reducing unemployment, carbon emissions, and inequality. The outgoing head of the UN Human Rights Office, OHCHR, in Bangladesh, Huma Khan, paid a farewell call on Chief Advisor Professor Mohammed Yunus at the State Guest House, Jamuna, today. During the meeting, they discussed recent developments following the July uprising, including issues of justice, accountability, and healing of the victims. They also exchanged views on the upcoming general election and the country's ongoing democratic transition. The Chief Advisor commended Huma Khan for her service during a critical period for Bangladesh and praised the role of the UN Human Rights Office, particularly its independent investigation into the atrocities committed in July and August of last year. In the case of crimes against humanity over the killing of 28 people in Rampura, Dhaka during the July mass uprising, the hearing for formal charge framing against 4 accused, including 2 army officers, Lieutenant Colonel Ridwanul Islam and Major Mohammed Rafat bin Alam, has been scheduled for December the 4th. International Crimes Tribunal 1 fixed the date today after the hearing. During the hearing, the defense lawyers of the 2 army officers applied for them to be allowed to join future proceedings virtually from prison. The other 2 accused in the case are absconding. They are former police ADC Rashid Rahman and former OC Bashir Rahman. The tribunal today ordered the appointment of state-appointed lawyers to represent these 2 fugitive accused. Earlier in the morning, the 2 army officers were produced before the tribunal in a special prison van under tight security. Meanwhile, in the crimes against humanity case over the killing of including Marta Shahriar Khan Anas and 5 others at Jankarpur during the July mass uprising, the defense lawyers cross-examined the chief investigation officer for the 2nd consecutive day. At the same time, Tribunal 2 fixed the next hearing for recording testimony on November the 27th in the case over the murder of the first martyr of the July mass uprising, Abu Saeed of Rangpur, against 30 accused, including former Begum Rokeya University Vice-Chancellor Shariful Islam. In the morning, 10 arrested accused in the Abu Saeed murder case and the Jankarpur murder case were produced before the tribunal. Bhutanese Prime Minister Tshering Tobgay left for home today after concluding his 2-day state visit to Bangladesh. Foreign Advisor M. Tawheed Hussain saw him off at Hazrat Shah Jalal International Airport. The flight carrying the Bhutanese Prime Minister departed around 8:30 a.m. Commerce Advisor Sheikh Bashiruddin and Foreign Secretary Asad Alam Siam were also present at the airport on the occasion. Before his departure, the Bhutanese Prime Minister was accorded a static guard of honor in line with state protocol. During his stay in Bangladesh, the 2 countries signed 2 memoranda of understanding, one on healthcare services and another on internet connectivity. The Bhutanese Prime Minister also attended a series of events, including bilateral talks with Bangladesh Chief Advisor Professor Mohammed Yunus, His schedule also included meetings with advisors, key government officials and political leaders. A consultative meeting between the Election Commission and the Bangladesh Postal Department was held at the conference room of the election building in Agargaon, Dhaka. The meeting focused on enabling expatriate Bangladeshi voters, personnel engaged in election duties, government employees working outside their registered constituencies, and voters under legal custody to cast their votes through postal ballots in the 13th National Parliamentary election using the postal voting system. The meeting was chaired by Chief Election Commissioner A.M.M. Nasiruddin and was attended by the Commissioners of the Election Commission as well as senior officials of the Postal Department. Later, representatives of the out-of-country voting OCV project briefed the Chief Election Commissioner, Election Commission members and postal officials on the voting procedures for expatriate voters and the related technical systems. Law advisor Dr. Asif Nazrul has said that victims can file cases free of cost in the newly launched e-family court. The initiative will reduce public sufferings and help curb corruption, he added. Asif Nazrul made the remarks today at the inauguration ceremony of the e-family court at the Dhaka Metropolitan Sessions Judge Court. As a pilot project, the e-family court has been launched in courts in Dhaka and Chattogram. Through this system, victims will be able to file cases online and the entire judicial process will be completed digitally. Environment Advisor Sayyida Rizwana Hassan and the Chief Advisor Special Assistant on Posts, Telecommunications and ICT, Faiz Ahmed Tayyab, were present at the time. While speaking at the function, Rizwana Hassan said that the family court will advance the country's move towards a paperless system. In his speech, Faiz Ahmed Tayyab said that the digital initiative will enable law professionals to provide faster and more efficient services. The law advisor remarked that reforms do not only mean constitutional reforms. Many reforms have already been implemented across different sectors. He said that the Law Ministry alone has carried out 21 reforms. The judicial reforms already undertaken will reduce the number of pending cases by 50% over the next 5 years, he asserted. Home Advisor Lieutenant General retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry has said the government is willing to receive French assistance to enhance post-earthquake management capacity as well as strengthen the fire service and civil defense. He made the remark when French Ambassador to Bangladesh, Jean-Marc Charlet, called on him at the Secretariat in Dhaka today. Bangladesh needs high-quality fire equipment, modern rescue tools for earthquake operations, and skilled and trained personnel for fire incident investigations, the advisor said. The French ambassador assured full cooperation and requested that formal proposals be sent through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. During the meeting, both sides discussed capacity building for the fire service, raising earthquake awareness and preparedness, and other issues of mutual interest. Environment, Forest and Climate Change Advisor Sayyida Rizwana Hassan today stressed the urgent need for a coordinated action to minimize the potential consequences of a major future earthquake. She said all relevant agencies, including Rajuk, must work together and in the interest of public safety. The government must have the authority to intervene, assess risks and take strict measures even when it involves privately held properties. The Environment Advisor made the remarks while addressing a seminar titled Preparedness and Actions for Reducing Earthquake Risks, organized by Rajuk at the Council Hall of the Institution of Engineers, Bangladesh, in the capital today. Housing and Public Works and Industries Advisor Adilur Rahman Khan and Housing and Public Works Secretary Mohammad Nazrul Islam also spoke at the seminar, with Rajuk Chairman Engineer Mohammad Riazul Islam in the chair. Relevant experts also took part in the meeting. Environment Advisor also stressed the need for for raising public awareness alongside preparedness and proposed initiating risk assessments through third-party entities in addition to Raju. Rizwana urged the authorities concerned to begin area-based surveys with the help of local residents without any delay. Highlighting the vulnerabilities of Old Dhaka, she noted that the area is extremely at risk due to hazardous chemical factories, dense settlements and widespread violations of building codes. She strongly recommended relocating all chemical factories from Old Dhaka to safe and permanent sites. The Environment Advisor also recommended launching risk assessment activities immediately under special directives. Information and Broadcasting Advisor Mohammad Mahfouz Alam urged the mass media to take a strong stance against rumours and misinformation. At the same time, people's distrust in the mass media must be removed, he said, while addressing a workshop of prevention of bad journalism in the media and presentation of objective news with the participation of members of Dhaka Reporters Unity, DRU, at the Bangladesh Press Council in the capital today. The workshop was organised by the Bangladesh Press Council. Highlighting the prevalence of rumours, Mahfouz Alam said, rumours and misinformation are being spread knowingly. The prevalence of misinformation has intensified during the 15-year rule of the previous government, he said. Regarding news related to the earthquake, the advisor said some media outlets have spread panic instead of raising public awareness about the earthquake. This is sad, he added. Mahfouz Alam expected the media to play a responsible role during the next national elections. Highlighting the activities of the Bangladesh Press Council, the advisor said that it is a quasi-judicial institution. The previous government had made the institution ineffective, he added. He said the current interim government has taken the initiative to make the Press Council effective. Journalists have the opportunity to approach the Press Council from the position of rights. He urged the Press Council to play a strong role within the existing law. Chairman of the Bangladesh Press Council, Justice A.K.M. Abdul Hakim, presided over the event, while Information and Broadcasting Secretary Mahbooba Farjana addressed it as a special guest. The Daily Financial Express editor Shamsul Haq Zahid and DRU President Abu Saleh Akun, among others, also spoke. A total of 50 journalists from different outlets participated in the workshop. At the end of the workshop, certificates were distributed among the participating journalists. Production costs of animal feed will be reduced to help control market prices, advisor to the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock, Farid Akhtar, said today. She made the remarks while addressing a press briefing on the eve of National Animal Resource Week at the Secretariat. The advisor said animal feed factories currently bear high electricity bills and other capital expenditures. She noted that lowering production costs would automatically impact feed prices. Farid Akhtar said the country will observe National Animal Resource Week from 26th of November to the 2nd of December. A total of 15 individuals in 5 categories will be awarded in the agriculture sector for their significant contributions. Journalists, driven by their own choices, often fall into the influence of political groups due to existing organizational divides within the media. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir said this today. He made the remark while addressing a discussion on the recommendations of the Media Reforms Commission organized by the Broadcast Journalists Centre BJC in Dhaka. Leaders from various political parties who participated in the event urged journalists to ensure neutral and impartial reporting. Meanwhile, BJC leaders called on all political parties to include mass media reform as a listed agenda in their election manifestos. We move on now to international news.